When you are the center of attraction and have 1,000 cameras focused on you, a million eyeballs measuring your moves, mistakes are bound to happen, and controversies are meant to spark that could put your name on our list of the most hated golfers. Some of these golfers have been absolutely despised by fans and critics alike for their terrible play on the course, while others have made headlines for their bad behavior off the course. From Big Phil's arrogant persona, Matt Kuchar treating his caddy unfairly, Sergio Garcia's childish behavior, and Patrick Reed being Patrick Reed. It's more than winning tournaments or getting involved in charity, because what some of your favorite golfers do behind closed doors is highly disgusting. But who is the most hated golfer right now in the game? Stick around to find out. You see, back in the day, many thought Ben Hogan was cold, Arnold Palmer was cocky, and even Ballesteros had his fair share of haters. It was even said that Lee Trevino was too distant to connect with fans, a claim that was also directed at the best golfers. But then we had Tom Watson and Jack Nicklaus, who never stopped chatting while playing. So maybe Lee Trevino just had to loosen up a bit. But now we have a new breed of players that are disliked for the right reasons. Take, for example, Vijay Singh. Vijay Singh could be highly successful at what he does, but he rarely engages with others, and his after-round speeches are always dry, coming off as almost unfriendly. Even his longtime caddy, whom he seldom sees, may not get a morning greeting from him. One of his biggest controversial moments was when he was accused of doping. Singh claimed he didn't know the deer antler spray he used contained banned substances, which originally was banned in sports. From engaging in doping to coming off as unfriendly, it's really hard to see why he's hated. While Singh might be unfriendly, the next golfer doesn't joke with his money. Popularly known as Cooch among his fans and colleagues, Matt Kuchar is thought to be one of the nicest guys on tour. But when it comes to money, Mr. Cooch always means business. At the Mayakoba Classic in 2019, Kuchar went home with a winner's check of a whopping $1.3 million. Guess how much he paid his caddy? A meager $5,000. Caddies can usually expect to receive up to 10% of a player's winnings depending on their arrangement, but we really can't tell Matt how to spend his money. Cooch even went as far as defending his decision. "Listen, I feel like I was fair and good," Matt said. "You simply can't make everybody happy. You just can't buy people's ability to be cool with you. And this seems to be more of a social media issue than anything, and I think it shouldn't be. Knowing that there was an agreed upon deal that not only did I meet, but exceeded." Yeah, there's Matt talking like he's the boss. And he really is the boss who gets to call the shots. But was he remorseful? I don't think so. I certainly don't lose sleep over this. And this is something that I'm quite happy with. I was really happy for him to have a fantastic week and make a good sum of money. Making $5,000 is a fantastic week. Well, it wasn't all that fantastic when fans came trolling him for his actions against his caddy. $5,000 from $1.2 million? That's mean, bro. Matt ultimately apologized and paid his golfer a fair fee, but his actions didn't go down well with his fans and colleagues on tour. But do you think Matt deserves to be hated? Check out this next player on our list, whose racial statement and childish behavior got his name in golf's black book. Sergio Garcia is one of the most hated PGA golfers of all time, both on and off the course. He's been despised by fans and critics alike for his terrible play on the course, and he's also made headlines for his bad behavior off the course. In 2012, Garcia made headlines when he made racist comments about Tiger Woods when he was on stage at the Ryder Cup. Golf Channel's Steve Sands asked the Spaniard whether he would invite Woods over for dinner at the US Open the following month. Sergio replied, "We will have him around every night. We will serve fried chicken." Sergio soon apologized for his comment after Tiger condemned his statement. Even Rory McIlroy commented on the incident, saying this about it in an interview.
Shouldn't have been said. And I think Sergio realized that as soon as he said it.
And that's not all. The 43-year-old has also been accused of acting like a petulant child. At the Saudi International, he was disqualified for intentionally damaging 5 greens. In the same tournament, he was caught on camera thrashing a bunker in frustration. Needless to say, Garcia is not very popular among golf fans. While Garcia might be childish, the next golfer's statement turned the golf world on its head at the time. Fuzzy Zoeller was a hell of a golfer back in the day. He racked up 10 PGA Tour wins, including wins at the US Open and the Masters, and made more than $5 million in an era when tournament purses weren't even close to what they are today. But if you ask many lovers of the game, Fuzzy is the worst golf has to offer. To an entire generation of golf fans, he'll always be known as the guy who made those racist comments about Tiger Woods during Tiger's historic win at Augusta National in 1997.
So you know what you guys do when he gets in here? Pat him on the back, say congratulations, enjoy it, and tell him not to serve fried chicken next year. Got it. Right.
These statements depict Zoller as an arrogant man who finds it hard to comprehend the success of another golfer. From golf's golden boy to the game's worst cheater, this player takes the cake for doing it dirty. Patrick Reed is one of the most controversial golfers currently on the scene, and his offenses are pretty grievous to be easily forgiven. Back in 2019, Tiger Woods selected Reed for the President's Cup match against the international team captained by Ernie Els in Melbourne. Meanwhile, golf analyst Brandel Chambly suggested that Woods had made a deal with the devil in picking Patrick, and he turned out to be right after all. During the third round of the Bahamas Hero World Challenge prior to the President's Cup, Reed was penalized for purposely attempting to improve his lie in a bunker. He was spotted taking multiple practice swings that flattened the sand behind his ball, not once, but twice. Following his round, Reed declined to speak with the rules officials about the incident and blamed it on the angle of the TV cameras, which, according to him, made it look worse than it was. How petty! Reed was savagely abused by golf fans at every turn, and armed police had to walk with him on the course. It was so vicious that Kessler Corain, Reed's caddy, lashed out at one fan. Brooks Koepka, on the other hand, also gave his opinion on the controversy.
So you understand, the integrity that goes on, and I mean, there's no room for it.
And as if that wasn't enough, in the Farmers Insurance Open in 2021, Reed found himself dealing with another rules issue when he sought relief for an embedded ball which TV replay shows had first bounced, and he immediately picked up the ball before a rules official could arrive.
Since I picked it up to check, it seems like it broke ground, but I want you to double check. They said it didn't bounce.
Patrick could be heard telling the rules official that the ball had not bounced, but he refused to look at television replays. "I checked it, and I believe it broke ground," Reed said. The next golfer easily fits into the most liked and most hated golfers list. Phil Mickelson. Mickelson is sometimes one of the nicest guys on tour, but he habitually makes inflammatory statements that drives people crazy. He once made a reckless remark about Saudi Arabia while speaking to the Fire Pit Collective's Alan Shipnuck, saying he'd be willing to overlook the kingdom's horrendous human rights record and sports washing to gain economic leverage over the PGA Tour. Mickelson would later apologize, calling his statement reckless. But that wasn't after some of his colleagues, like Rory McIlroy, blasted him, calling him egotistical.
Naive, selfish, egotistical, ignorant. A lot of words to describe.
Mickelson is known to take occasional swipes at the PGA Tour and its star players like Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. Early last month, golf fans on Twitter were flirting with the concept of a box office match play event between LIV Golf and the PGA Tour. They called on old rivals Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson to be the playing captains of the showdown, recreating their famous rivalry. But Phil took a brutal swipe at the 15-time major champion, referencing Woods' inability to compete due to injuries sustained in a car accident in February 2021. Mickelson tweeted, "Tell him he can use a cart, but trust golf fans who gave Mickelson the roasting of his life." While one posted a picture of players and their tour career wins to prove to Mickelson he's no match to Tiger, another tweeted, "I'll take Tiger with a cart and use a cane as a club over you in your prime. You never measured up." Now here's the real savagery. You can't bet either. I don't think @Callaway Golf wants to pay any more for your lost bet fees. Recall that Mickelson lost over $40 million to gambling between 2010 and 2014. Let us know in the comments below what you make of the most hated golfers.